Pause 1 second. 3, 2, 1.
Hi.
Hello. Tar and Feathered, everyone, episode 4.
What?
Oh, no,
No,
I'm
keep
waiting.
going. We're just
Okay, we're just gonna shoot it.
The whole time I'll just play.
The whole time.
I'll just play the same song, you know. 'Cause I'm a freak. So on and so forth. In a round.
Episode 4, Tar and Feathered. What are we discussing today?
Dum 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 dum. No.
No.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the decline of modern pop music.
Well, he's not even pop music. He's rap.
Which nowadays is basically pop.
Yeah.
Just because you throw some trap beats in the background.
Oh yeah, no, it's always like that. Anyway, I'm Tyler,
Robert.
and on today's episode, we're going to be discussing the current, as of right now, was today the 23rd of February, 2019. We're going to be discussing the Democratic frontrunners right now, and what we think of.
How well that sounds is about how well they are.
I mean, I think some of them are, yeah.
Oh, that's one. That's the Bernie chord.
Okay.
That's what he sounds like when he's at the front gates to the White House. Let me in! Let me in! Blah! Yes. So my money's for Cory Booker.
Oh, how dare you steal it?
Well, he's the only man, so...
He's not the only man.
He's the only straight man, which I don't have a problem with gay people, but I know they're not going to win.
Bernie is also
The
straight.
South Bend... Is he though? When was the last time you think...
Okay, just because
like,
he's old doesn't mean that he's gay.
if you can't get a woman pregnant,
He
you're
definitely.
not a man.
I think he can, though.
You think you're still sterile in your 70s?
Still sterile? You mean not sterile?
You think they would still be sterile in their 70s?
So you're saying he's already sterile?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So anyway, let's look at the list. So first one we're looking at, Cory Booker. Now
Spartacus.
he what was that?
Spartacus.
Oh yeah, that's right. Do you remember what that was over?
No, I do not.
It was over. Oh my god! It wasn't during.
I
No.
guarantee if you just type in Cory Booker Spartacus, it will tell you.
Because it was before the. What is it called? During the Supreme Court nomination.
Yes, it was before that. Right before, like, not very...
Yeah, I almost conflated the two together because they were so close together. But anyway, so Cory Booker, I liked him. I think he's okay. He's definitely one of the better
He's
ones.
in the more moderate sense.
Yeah, because I mean, essentially what you have is a split between the progressive wing of the Democrats.
So I'm trying to hide that sound a little bit. Unless there's some ASMR fans out there.
So you have the you have the progressive side of the party. That's your Bernie Sanders kind, and then you have the more moderates, your like Clinton camp as well. And between the two of them, right now, obviously, I think the progressive side is the at least more vocal one, but I don't think that they have the best chance of winning. So I do think,
I think, to be
right now
honest,
Corey is an underdog, but I think he's actually a pretty good underdog. Like,
I
in the
think
sense
one
that,
of the biggest ticket items that's going to come up in this election, like Democrats versus conservatives, is going to be what's going on with legal abortions, like the no limitation abortions. I think
that's
where
a good
they fall on that is going to be a huge deciding factor, because sometimes there are Democrats that are just like, yeah, you're a better option. Like Barack Obama was a much better option than Mitt Romney.
I think the biggest issues right now? It's immigration, abortion, and the environment, and maybe, I guess, socialism are probably like the four biggest things, the biggest issues right now. So really, what it comes down to is your views on essentially those four things, and that's about going to determine 90% of who is going to vote for you.
Which
out the
I
gate.
think if any Democrat running plain out says, I do not agree with no limitation abortions, that's the one that typically conservative voters are more likely to go to. Because, to be fair, like, Trump's done a lot of stuff, but he's made a lot of fucking enemies. And yes, his camp is largely going to stay with him, but the Republicans that don't like Trump, which there's a lot of them too, they're looking for any alternative. But they have to be able to sit in bed with that alternative. And if they say no limitation abortions, no Republican is going to get with that.
As of right now, like, there aren't any Democrats running that are in favor of no limit abortions.
Well, Elizabeth Warren is. She's come on the record with that.
Oh, really?
Yes. She sided with New York, now Virginia.
Well, that makes sense because she is a senator from New York.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Which then AOC must... She hasn't waged into that
I don't think she
conversation.
has actually gone into that at all.
As controversial as she is, I'm kind of surprised.
Her thing is moreover just
Socialism.
Environment and socialism. Yeah. Environment, socialism.
Which I like that on the environmental side. She's throwing it to the wind even against her own party. Like
Green New Deal.
Which is going... Have you looked at it?
I have looked at it.
It's pretty fucking awful.
It's insane. I think the most insane part was on the topic of we must be able to provide it was like either a job or a wage to those, even if they're not willing to work. It's like not willing to work.
While
Are you
simultaneously killing millions of jobs across the board.
I mean, it would kill a lot, but I guess the counter argument would be it's also creating a lot.
It is creating a lot, but there's still a deficit. And then there's no action plan for those people. Like, I get it. I'm very sympathetic towards both sides in that coal is awful, but it's also providing hundreds of thousands of families in income. So, yes, I do think coal needs to go away, but I also think there needs to be an action plan, like, or else we're just going to kill the Rust Belt, what little is left.
What was that? What was that meme? It was like, damn, I can't remember it now, but it was like for the people in West Virginia that were losing their jobs, and someone made like a comment like, "Oh, just
go to McDonald's or something."
God damn, I can't remember. It was like akin to let them eat cake, essentially, where it's just, oh, they just lost their jobs.
They'll find new ones.
They'll get another one. They'll get a new one or whatever. And it was posted on like a bunch of like forums and everything.
Which I have to be honest, part of my sympathy is my grandfather was a coal miner, died of black lung, but he lived into his 70s before that. So, not 70s, 50s.
That's a real American.
I was thinking of the other grandpa. Yeah, he was in his 50s, whatever.
But anyways, getting back to it. So, Cory Booker.
He gets the go so far of all
would
of the
you
candidates.
vote for him?
Him versus Trump?
Yeah, so assuming the ticket is Booker versus Trump. I'm going to ask
Trump,
that.
as of at this moment, no, I would still pick Trump.
Okay. What about an independent? What if Adam Kokesh wins the Libertarian ticket?
I don't think as contested as the Democratic field is going to be, I'd probably vote for him.
Really?
Just because the third party thing. Because I'm a very big proponent as to we need to do something, and the only way to do that is at this point, that would be the lesser of two evils.
What about...
and I know he's not going to win, so part of that is, yes, you can argue it's throwing away your vote, but it's more of a long-term plan. If every year the third party gets more and more votes, it's eventually going to get competitive.
Perhaps. But...
Like in a lot of congressional seats, like state congressional seats. In Indiana, we have 3 or 4 libertarians now.
Oh, okay.
Because they had enough votes in the midterms, like people going towards Gary Johnson and whatnot, that it opened the door. People finally saw, like, oh, we don't have to vote this or that. Now it's this, that, or the other. And a lot of people would rather see the other.
What about Ventura on the green ticket? You know that he's running?
The Green will never win. The
Libertarian will never win.
Not in our lifetimes, probably not.
I don't know.
Maybe late in our lives, if we live to be old.
I don't know if libertarianism will ever take off that much.
Not if they hold on to their extremism version of libertarianism. Now, like, when Gary Johnson was the governor of New Mexico, he was very middle-of-the-road libertarian. And that's why he was so successful. He got rid of their deficit. He started putting up a surplus, like, multiple years consecutively in the millions of dollars.
How dare he not spend that money? Because, you know, that's what they'll say.
Yeah, which is kind of how I feel about Indiana. Oh, we had a $2 billion surplus.
Why aren't we using that money?
Excuse me? Why do I owe you $300 in taxes?
So, as of right now, Cory Booker, pretty good, right?
If it wasn't against Trump, if it was like any other Republican who at this point doesn't have experience, I would probably go Cory Booker. I don't see a lot of Republicans that can step up to the plate at the moment.
Because I'm much more liberal than anything, but even I'm like, nah, I like Trump. I don't know what it is about him, but he's like this. He's like
if you get over
figure.
the fanboyness, if you get over the fanboy haters,
because I'm not.
When you look at what he's actually done, he has been one of the most successful presidents.
Let's not go in there. Okay, so next one.
In our lifetime.
Peter Buttigieg. I don't even know how to say that name.
Oh,
it's the South Mayor. Yeah, the South Bend Mayor. Yes.
Who's, I guess, like, he's a vet, not a war vet. Even though he was in Afghanistan, no combat or anything. He's a naval officer. So, you know what? Okay. Yeah, he gets a little bit. It's the Navy. You take that for what it's worth.
To be honest, he's the one I know like the least amount. To be honest,
I think most people, because
he's a mayor from a city in my state, but other than that, I really don't know anything.
Yeah, so we hear South Bend, we think like we know where that's at. The rest of the nation, they hear South Bend, and they're
where is that?
Indiana's. Where is Indiana?
I forgot that was a state. Actually,
we are a forgotten state.
Oh, we're a flyover.
If it's not the Colts, it's like who?
Yeah, exactly.
Indianapolis, is that in Indiana?
So I mean, at least
there is more than just corn in Indiana.
For this guy, I don't know. He's 37. He's 37.
If he won, he would be the youngest president ever. He would be the first openly gay president as well.
Yep. But I don't think he will even make it out of maybe like 2 primaries. Like maybe 2 primaries, and that's it.
The fact that he's put up the money to
even do this,
is kind of it's like, where are you getting that money? You're a mayor of a not very big city. Yeah. You don't have that much money.
My thinking is he did this strictly
to get his name out there.
To get the clout up, so then next year, maybe or 2 years from now, he runs as like a representative of that area.
District, or even the governor of Indiana. So just to be the complete antithesis of Mike Pence, shock the gay away Pence.
Yeah, but at this point, it's like, who even knows who Eric Holcomb even is? Like, let's be real.
Who?
Our governor.
Yeah. I know what he looks like, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
He's an old white guy with white hair.
I've not heard anything about him, so I don't think most people would
He's
have.
extremely anti-pot.
Okay, but who isn't at this point from Indiana? That's like has GOP.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, when you read into him, his whole thing was like, well, it's the federal law, and I will comply with the federal law.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's like,
And
it's a states' right thing, but he was just like sucking the federal dick.
Yeah, this idea that, like, I know what you're doing. You're implicitly being like, yeah, I agree with the ban on marijuana. It's like,
Yeah, but not actually saying
without saying it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, rules are rules, buddy. I'm sorry.
I think I would love to see him maybe in, you know, down the line, but I don't think he has nearly
Indiana
the clout.
being a feeder state for GOP elected officials, that would be interesting.
Well, for him
Starting
being
with
Dem.
Mike Pence.
Yeah. So for him, I'm fine.
He
Like,
gets the no.
I wouldn't really care, but then again, I don't know much about him, and
Yeah, I
I
haven't
don't
looked at
care
his
to learn
views.
much about him because
He's not gonna do shit.
no, he's not. It's not. Gonna
He's absolutely not competitive.
So this guy, I also
Texans.
completely forgot. Julian Castro.
An actual Latino from Texas, not like Beto O'Rourke.
If I recall correctly, I think he was the former HUD secretary.
Oh, gross.
Um,
I do not agree with the housing urban development
Yes.
projects.
Um,
That's why they're called the projects, and they foster some of the most crime in the nation.
without looking it up, I'm pretty certain he was the first person to like declare, or it was either him or the guy from Maryland. I think like one of those two guys. So it's like, wait, when did this guy start running? Oh, it's because it was so long ago.
Is he a representative out of Texas?
I
Or is
did
he a
not-
state representative in Texas?
He was the former mayor of San Antonio. It looks like.
I've been to San Antonio. Lived there for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty dirty, despite it being a tourist city.
Mm-hmm.
The Riverwalk was baller. He has nothing to do with that, though. So
I
the fact that he's from Texas makes me like appreciate it a little bit more. Because to be honest, I've never met a Texan I didn't like. Everyone I've ever met from Texas, like, we got along. Of the people that I know are from Texas, we get along.
So I'm gonna just breeze by this guy because he's also not gonna make it out of probably 1 to 2 primaries before he just drops out. And then the guy I was referencing, John Delaney. So he ran in 2016.
Did he?
Yes. So most people just remember 2016 as between Hillary and Bernie. There's actually two other.
Wait! Don't forget about Jeb Bush.
Okay, I mean for the Democrats, it was Hillary versus Bernie.
How long ago was Newt Gingrich?
Newt Gingrich?
Yeah.
That was 08.
Oh, that was Obama.
Yeah, that was Obama's first, and then it was Mitt Romney.
Right.
But so he actually ran with, I forget the other nobody, back in 2016, and they were immediately just shut down.
Cut, and he decided to try it again.
And so now he's trying again. I believe he was the first person actually
Let's be
to
thankful
run.
Hillary isn't declared to run again. Bernie Sanders would be
I would love that. That would be hilarious.
Oh, because she would just get shit on again. Be like, "What? Are you gonna have another seizure during an interview? Like, get the fuck
She would
outta
destroy because again, it's really between the Sanders progressive wing of the party and the Clinton moderates. That's how it was dubbed in 2016.
Yes.
So
but now
if
with
she came
AOC
back
and everything, yet again, AOC is gonna throw whatever she's worth, all of her followers, for as long as that lasts. She's gonna throw that behind Bernie Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
So she is the young connection that Bernie already had. She just kind of reinforces it a little bit.
Well, even she has actually yet to endorse him, as far as I know. I've yet to see.
That is correct.
Because I remember about 3 months ago, they were asking her, so if he decides to run, are you going to endorse him? And she said, right now I'm focusing on other things, so I don't really have time to like say whether or not I would or would not endorse him.
I'm focusing on the next election. reaction. It's like, excuse me.
Yeah, and I was
It's
like,
a little early.
It's a little strange that you wouldn't be backing like essentially
the socialist god,
the leader of the socialists in your party. It's very strange.
Then again, she also shit all over Elizabeth Warren as well.
Well, she's a part of the moderate wing. Yeah. That's why, and that's the massive infighting right now. So and contrast that with the Republicans who, before the massive infighting, was pro-Trump versus anti-Trump. At this point, the anti-Trumpers have been completely destroyed. Yeah. So now it's just pro-Trump. So there's really no infighting between the Republicans.
Yeah, they realize he won this time. He'll probably win again. Mm-hmm. That and challenging the incumbent is always a difficult fucking task.
If there was... I'm going to butcher it now, so I don't even want to say it, but it was something about, like, if your unemployment is below a certain level, the odds of you winning is like 90%. And considering that we have the lowest unemployment since World War II.
Since we started recording it, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But since World War II, we have the lowest unemployment on record.
A lot of people will say that's because of the Trump tax programs.
And a lot of people would say that's absolutely not because of it, in spite of it, actually, is what they would say.
So it's wishy-washy. We don't have degrees in economics. It's a very hard game to play.
You know who does? AOC. A minor.
Just because, a minor is not a degree. You have a degree in something and a minor in something else. Do you know what it takes to get a minor? 4 classes.
Oh, okay.
4 classes.
She still has a minor in econ. Respect her degree.
She took 4 credit hours. Do you know how much 4 credit hours is? How much do you remember from your high school economics class?
A decent amount.
A decent amount, but do you think that would be enough to qualify for a degree?
Well, no.
That's how much class she took to get her minor.
All right. Well, I mean, anyway, let's stay on focus. So John Delaney, no, because he's so boring, absolutely terrible. I would rather I'd rather shoot myself in the foot.
Where's he from?
Maryland. Or no, I'm wrong. It's New Jersey. Sorry.
Even worse.
Yeah.
That means he's in bed with Chris Christie.
No. That's where. So he's a representative from. He was a representative from, but he was born in New Jersey. Anyways, yeah, so I was right. He's from Maryland, but he's super boring. No one cares. He's the same thing. You think he got destroyed?
Also born in New Jersey?
Who?
Riley.
Of course, yes.
Who was also born in New Jersey? Oh, I can't remember his name. Our old
fucked it up. You fucked it up.
Our old combo from that first ITX. Major Bear.
Major Bear. Gross. So next, Tulsi Gabbard. Our representative,
No. No, I am still a registered voter in Indiana. She's not.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. But in where we
reside
physically live right now.
We reside in Hawaii.
Yep.
She represents Hawaii. I don't think they have more than one representative, do they? Well, 2, yeah, everyone.
So it's Big Island is 1, and then everything else is 2.
Oh, yeah, because Oahu has the population of like more than Indianapolis.
Maybe. But yeah, so Tulsi Gabbard, I remember when
pot. She was on Joe Rogan, and that's pretty much the only thing they talked about. And I think it was his shortest podcast ever. I think because she just stuck to like the whole like I'm a politician.
Cool.
Well, no, she stuck to like the politician stick, and she talked the entire time like it was an interview. And Joe was just like, let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's just have a conversation. And she was like, I'm a politician, Joe.
Yeah, come on, let's just talk, you fuckface. I actually just recently rewatched the episode with him and Steven Crowder. And it was hilarious.
He was getting so pissed at him.
It was hilarious. But anyway, I like when she was brought up because I was like, oh wait, I know that name from somewhere, but I couldn't place it. And then
we saw all the billboards.
For 2016 and everything. I was like, oh, okay, cool. She seems like
She is pretty young. She's down to earth. She is an actual war vet.
She is also 37.
Very young.
Very young.
Now, how much life experience you get living in Hawaii, it's debatable.
Mm-hmm.
To me, coming from back home to here, it's like most of the people are from here.
Keep going.
Oh, okay. But whatever. Yeah, she's got to go be in Washington for a while and get more experience. Did it quit recording?
So I need more space on my phone.
It's because you can't have an SD card because it's an iPhone. I guess we'll just do it live with these two cameras.
I guess. Whatever. Yeah, I'll have to
What's
mess
up,
with it.
Samsung?
I'll have to mess with it later, which is really unfortunate because you talk more than I do.
No, I don't think that's true. Tulsi Gabbard. So I guess we'll run through this pretty quick then. But I don't know her views too well, but she seems like she get a lot of the young vote.
I think the biggest issue that she has is I don't see her as being any different than.
Yeah, she's not controversial on anything.
Yeah.
Well, for the Democratic side.
Like I'm telling you, it's going to be between Bernie Sanders
Yes.
and Kamala Harris,
Ooh.
and they're going to compete to see who is the more progressive.
And I think Cory Booker will hang in there till the end.
Yeah, but he'll still lose though.
He'll still lose. So since we've already agreed on that, let's run through. What's after Tulsi Gabbard?
Christian Gillibrand.
Ooh, I know that name.
Yeah.
Where's she from? New York?
Yeah, New York.
Yeah, she served alongside with Clinton. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
She's been in here for a minute.
So yeah, Christian Gillibrand. I think she has maybe a decent chance, but she's not even necessarily running right now.
And her being from New York, you'd think maybe AOC would throw behind her. Just to because then again, it helps her for the next election. It helps AOC for the next election.
Perhaps
Supporting my constituents.
But yeah, but I mean, we're
a
assuming
vote for me is a
she'll
vote
even
for New York.
that she'll even run. Because right now she's still an exploratory campaign, just to see what her odds are.
She probably won't.
Let's go. The big one. So Kamala Harris, right? Kamala Harris. So she starts off as
a minority.
She started
She's
off
a woman.
as like a pretty conservative representative that slowly shifted more and more to the left.
She started playing the political game and shifting her views accordingly.
Yeah. Do you think it's that she's actually changing, or rather she's doing the Hillary Clinton? This thing is now registering at 51% approval.
Yeah.
Then that's why I agree with now.
That's what she's going with.
You don't think she's actually changing as a person?
I don't think when you start the game you actually change your views that much. You're running because you're pretty firm and solid on what you believe.
Yeah, because most of these people are like around 30, 35 at least. So I would hope by around your mid 30s
you're pretty set on your worldview.
And don't get me wrong. Like obviously, feel free to change.
Yeah, but at that point you've probably heard
at least
all ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be 35 and be like, what?
What? Whoa! Well, I
didn't know about
No one's
that.
ever talked to me about socialism that way before. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're 16 going on 20, then it's like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of changes that occur. But between 30 and 35,
which is one of the things that scares me the most about this whole no limits abortion thing becoming a big deal. It's like there's a lot of people who just don't have a moral compass on this issue at all.
How so?
The whole we don't even care that if it's a life or not. It's a woman's choice.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't care that's another life.
Well, to them, and I've said before, the crux of the abortion issue is this: is a fetus, baby, whatever you want to call it, if that entity inside the body is it alive or not, and whether or not it's a yes or a no is pretty much going to determine almost everything you view on abortion.
I think if it's viable outside the womb, it is absolutely a life.
Then okay, and then you're very much most likely then going to say then abortion is a form of murder then.
At a certain point. Now, first term abortions, okay, if it's within 3 months of conception, there's not been a lot of development going on. There's not a heartbeat.
Doesn't the heartbeat start like within like a month or so? Like it's really early in the pregnancy, like very early in the pregnancy.
I think the myocardial tissues are formed and it can be detected, like the electrical activity, but that's not the same as a heartbeat.
Well, because I just remember because most conservatives, that's like one of the first things they point out. They'll be like, a heartbeat within like 6 weeks. 6 weeks, it already has its own heartbeat.
Until very recently, it was hard to determine if you were even pregnant within 6 weeks of conception.
Within 4 weeks, it has its own DNA.
Yeah, it has its own DNA from the get-go. That's how the zygote and everything fucking happened.
But that's one of the first things.
High school biology class. Anyways,
what was it? She wants to abolish all private healthcare.
Oh, that was her.
Yes. She says that because...
yeah, that's right. She was like 100%. It should be government run. You do not get a choice. You're going to have this.
Well, it was one of the few times I've ever seen a politician do like
Such
what
a
I
hard
do,
stand.
where it is the logical conclusion. So she started with saying like, well, private healthcare, the government should be running all healthcare, and then healthcare should be free. And I was like, well, then obviously the logical conclusion of that is you get rid of private then. And then she literally within that same interview was like, and so, we need to abolish private healthcare.
You don't get a choice. We will decide for you.
And
But see, my issue with that, and this topic is actually what got me into politics in the first place, was researching and knowing what the fuck I actually like. I have like this intuitive feeling, but now like I need the logic behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And this was one of the very first things when I was young that like hit me, and it was like, if the government decides you can only get this through us, that's a form of control, and then they can say, if you do anything, we're going to take it away. Anything that's given can be taken away. And that's why I'm a Republican.
Not AIDS. AIDS can't be taken away. That you got that for life, man.
Just like chlamydia here, so.
Super chlamydia.
Super chlamydia. Like they have in Britain, but not America yet.
Oh yeah. Just wait.
Yeah, it's gonna fly across the pond.
Just
like coconuts actually migrate.
What?
Coconuts did not reach the Caribbean islands until about 500 years ago, and nobody brought them to the island. They literally just floated the fuck
in water
over there.
Okay. It's like with horses with the Native Americans, because everyone just always thinks of the Native Americans being horse riders. Not until the Spanish got here,
and then they were just adopted so readily.
Within like 100 years, like maybe 2 generations, it was already so integral to their culture.
Which then you could argue is also a downfall of the Plains Indians as well, and their identity and what led to the war and all that. Whatever, I've read a lot about it.
Mm-hmm.
So Native American studies.
Harris. So she wants to get rid of private healthcare.
Therefore, she gets an absolute fuck you. Kamala Harris.
That's off, by the way. There you go.
Kamala Harris. Fuck you. Not even a no. Fuck you.
She's tough on guns as well, as you'd expect from most Dems.
She's from what, California?
Yeah. Yes, she is. Senator, I believe. Senator from California.
Along with Elizabeth Warren?
New York.
Who's the other one from California?
I think it's Feinstein.
Feinstein, that's it. Who is also ghost guns. It's a ghost gun.
Hey, at least she's pro pot. At least I think almost every single one of these people on here is pro pot, which is pretty cool.
That's one of the few things that I find
the Dems have gotten right.
Yes, which the Republicans have absolutely shit the bed on. If there was a conservative who was like, light it if you've got it, that would blow shit wide open, man.
I think Eye Patch guy is
Crenshaw from Texas.
Yeah, Hank Crenshaw. Right?
Yeah,
I think
Navy SEAL vet.
Yep, I think he's pro pot.
Almost every advocate for the VA is pro pot, which isn't thinking the VA. That's another huge issue I have with Bernie Sanders. If you take away everything else, I would still give him a no, simply because he was on the board of the VA from like 2002 to like 2012, which is when it shit the bed the most. Because, all the war vets and everything, all the modern war vets. And it's like, he just sat back and didn't do shit. Either was too incompetent to know that there was a problem, or saw that there was a problem and didn't give a shit. I don't know which is worse. Either way.
Some combination of the two.
Some middle ground between the two. Ignorance versus incompetence. Mm-hmm. Either way, for that alone, if you take away literally everything else and you just showed me that one fact about him, absolutely fucking not.
Another thing I don't care about it, but I just think it's kind of funny. When she was on, the Breakfast Club thing.
Oh, yeah.
About the whole, I was smoking pot in college.
And I was listening to Biggie and Tupac, and it was like, bitch, you went to school in 84.
Tupac and Snoop Doggy Dogg. Thank you. She never said she listened to
Death
Biggie.
Row Records.
Yes. And it turned out to, like, what she was saying is wrong because they didn't even have
and then all the news outlets were like, oh, you're so obsessed, you're just fact-checking here. It's like, yeah, because facts matter.
Yeah, but I don't care about that. That doesn't mean anything to me. I just think it was funny, though.
Yeah, she was trying to connect on that level.
She was trying to connect. Like, it was a very poor attempt. Like,
yes, I will have one weed, sir.
You literally could have said, like, NWA, too. Like, at least that could have been like, okay, yeah, sure.
That's feasible.
That's feasible, yeah, because they did have records out then. But yeah, so another thing, I think, because again, she's too liberal, or rather left. She's too left for most moderates, and especially obviously conservatives, but assuming they're not like registered Republicans, conservatives and moderates, she's far too left, too extreme for them. But then she also, if you look up her background when she was like almost like a conservative kind of politician or whatever, I would have to look up the specifics on it, but it's very well documented that she... Hey everyone, Tyler here. So I just want to go over why I was stumbling awfully right there. I was wanting to discuss Kamala Harris's track record as Attorney General during her tenure in California. The article specifically that I was speaking on was a Washington Post article that was basically saying that she was a self-described progressive prosecutor, but in reality, she was just as disgusting as any person would really agree to being a prosecutor that disregards information and is only really concerned on making sure that their arrest rates, or rather conviction rates, are incredibly high. And don't worry, I'm going to make sure to link to the article that I was trying to reference, but again, failing to get to. But basically, it's that right there as her track record in California as both the local attorney, but also the state attorney for California. That is, in my opinion, one of the greatest reasons that her track record as a progressive, as someone that is trying to get that vote, is going to fail, and it's strictly on her record as an attorney general.
Gun laws in the nation, with some of the most crimes, violent gun crimes in the nation, aggravated assault. Absolutely fucking not. The policies don't work. They don't enforce the policies they do have. But they still want to pass new ones. Because it's all feel-good measures. And I hate feel-good measures. Oh, wow, your parents died? Here's a teddy bear.
So hard no to Kamala.
Hard no.
Okay, next on it, Amy,
Is that Wisconsin?
No, it's Minnesota.
Whatever, they're the same thing. No. One's cheese, one's beer.
Klobuchar, I don't even know. Nobody, she's gonna immediately get kicked out.
Especially with that logo.
Amy for America.
Yeah, nope. You just made that in some clip art word.
Okay, so the other big one that obviously, and most likely the
Oh,
going to
it
be the
hurts.
winner of the 2020 primaries for the Democrats, Bernie Sanders.
A literal socialist.
Yes, a Democrat socialist.
A literal socialist.
A literal Democrat socialist. Yes.
What does that even mean?
It,
It's socialism, but you wanted it.
yep. That means you voted for it. Yep. I like him. Do I think he's crazy when it comes to a lot of the economy topics? Yeah, but I think as a person and a lot of
I think he is morally corrupt.
ooh, those are strong words. Morally corrupt how?
I fight for the poor. Billionaires shouldn't exist. I own 3 mansions and 4 Ferraris. I wear a $3,000 watch and a $5,000 suit.
But a typical like response to that is it's like because that's always what people will say whenever you have like someone that wants to do redistribution.
Why doesn't he
of wealth.
donate more?
Why doesn't he donate more? And the common retort to that just being is you can be for economic equality and still be like in the higher end. Of the
I'm
spectrum.
advocating against the same people I'm advocating against people in the same bracket as me, but I'm different from them. I'm not exploiting you.
I mean, you can be rich and still be for economic distribution,
That's
like
true.
redistributing wealth.
That's true, like Bill Gates.
Yeah.
But he actually makes a difference in the world with the level of his contribution. Bernie Sanders does not.
Well, he's trying to. He's trying to.
Not when you own 3 mansions.
I mean, but again, you can
On a
own.
congressional salary?
Well, they make.
Where's all his other money coming from? They're not making enough to be a millionaire.
Oh, speaking tours,
Exactly.
books, loads of money.
Yeah, like the fucking Clinton Foundation. What has it
that's
actually done?
Well, and the whole like that controversy, but mostly,
Trump
usually,
University. Yeah.
Yeah, like usually though.
Remember, is that lawsuit still going? The Trump University
He
one?
probably has at all points at least a minimum of 10 lawsuits.
Well,
going on at
he
all
is
times.
the CEO of like 20 different companies.
And he's the president, and there are people trying to be like, "Oh, I'm going to sue him for emotional distress after he won the election."
It's like,
like
okay.
yeah, like
You think his lawyers can't fight that?
Oh yeah, well, again, 99% of them are just gonna be shot down immediately, but there's still going to be loads and loads of that.
Oh yeah,
come on.
and that's one of my favorite things on the tangent of Trump. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's filed for bankruptcy 3 times." Like, Trump himself has never filed for bankruptcy. Has he, as the CEO of a company, filed for bankruptcy for that company? Yeah, but he's invested in hundreds of different companies. Like that. Okay, 3% of the time. That's a really great success ratio. I'm successful 90% of the time. Oh, it's not 100. Sorry, you're bad at business.
Garbage.
Art of the deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Bernie Sanders, absolute fucking no.
For
one, I don't think if you're in your 70s, you understand the average American.
Trump is in his 70s.
I know, and I don't think he understands the average American.
Okay.
Is he a really great politician in the way that he runs his media campaign? Yeah. For someone that old, he is very adept at social media.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what's going to happen when he texts those stupid tweets. He knows. And he uses it to his advantage. It's free press. That's fucking brilliant.
The press trying to destroy him in 2016 was one of the main reasons why he won.
Yeah,
he got
because
so much free press.
He spent a 5th of the Clintons.
And he probably got more airtime than the Clintons.
Yeah.
By far.
Jeb Bush is a big fat loser.
No. He's a big fat mistake.
Mistake.
He's a mistake.
Jeb Bush
Jeb is a mistake.
Jeb's just sitting over there, head down, like, I am a mistake.
Boom. Boom.
Smacking bitches out of the
That
yard.
is still one of my favorite videos of all time. I love that video so much.
Yeah, but yes, if you're in your 70s, you are out of touch.
I
I
don't-
don't care.
I don't-
You're out of touch.
I think he's that bad. I do think he's too crazy when it
I
comes to
think if you're
economic
a
shit.
socialist in America, you are that bad. A socialist with any pre-term that you want to fucking put in front of the word socialist, you're still a socialist, which I think is antithetical towards the American way of life. The American way of life is based on the foundation of freedom. Socialism is the opposite of freedom. If I don't have a choice, that's not freedom.
For me, Sanders is a maybe. I want to be
I
against
think
it.
you're only saying that because he's most likely to win.
No, I'm going off of what I like. Again, do I think a lot of the economic things that he's wanting to pass will pass? No, because the Republicans will still hold the Senate.
Well, another factor that we haven't talked about yet is who will these people choose for their cabinet positions? What would Bernie Sanders,
Secretary of Treasury.
Yeah, what would they do? What would their UN representative do? Like we talked about the other day, Trump's person, Nikki, whatever the fuck.
Nikki Haley.
She's doing a great job.
Well, she's not the secretary, or she's not the UN representative anymore.
Not the UN representative, whatever that position is. I'm having a brain fart on the title.
Yeah, she's the American representative to the UN. Nikki Haley?
Yeah, you just said that wasn't her position.
Because she resigned months ago.
Oh well, okay.
She was, but she's not anymore.
No, she's not.
She's not anything right now.
She asked to get separation from the administration, but yeah, what will their cabinet picks do? Which is like.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Who
they
would
can't
Bernie
really.
Sanders VP be?
Let's be real. Other than maybe like Mike Pompeo at state, there's really no one
Secretary of State. What would the Bernie Sanders Secretary of State be like? What is his foreign policy? Yeah, what is their foreign policy going to be? It's going to be soft.
Very
which
soft.
is the exact opposite of what we need. We're getting the Russian collusion, whatever. We're somewhat getting along with Russia. That's good. We're somewhat getting along with China. That's great. North Korea. Okay, they're still making nukes. I don't care what anyone says.
I mean, Iran also.
Yes, which another thing Trump has been very hard on. The Iran deal was terrible.
I thought it was insane when I was like, just a perfect example of double standard was we shouldn't end the Iran deal. Remember when there was like that discussion on the Iran deal? We shouldn't end the Iran deal because this is the only way to peacefully get Iran to stop pursuit of nuclear weapons. But then this is this same media, and I hate to say it, but it was liberals, like the left, media. These are the same people making fun of him and being like, how can Trump be so stupid thinking that the North Koreans are just going to sign this peace deal and give up their nuclear weapons?
Well,
it's like, wait, I thought diplomacy was the way to do this.
That's the great thing about the liberal media. No matter what view they take,
Infowars.
They are never wrong.
Well, obviously either side, but I was just saying in this specific case, it very transparently a bias and a double standard of, Iran.
You mean the Kanye supporting Trump wasn't enough? Oh, what an Uncle Tom, what a black traitor.
That was like...
It was like that. All your statements are like so racist. Like, oh, you're a black supporting Trump. Black people can't support Trump.
There was an MTV video a long time ago, back in like 2015, where it was like resolutions for white guys, and the thing was immediately pulled because of massive backlash it was receiving. But one of the comments, it was like one of the most disgusting things I've heard ever. And again, the whole video was shot as like a joke, quick cuts of like first, and it's like imagine BuzzFeed making a video. It really is.
You mean college humor?
Yeah, modern college humor.
College
yeah.
humor.
But one of the comments was from this. It was a black guy, and he was like, "Oh, and Kanye, you can have Kanye. You know what you did." And I was like, he literally just called him a race traitor.
Yeah. That's
like one of the most disgusting things you can probably call someone that I can think of off the top of my head.
To say, or like the term whitewashed. He's whitewashed. Like, if you don't act like the stereotypical black guy, you're not black anymore. Which I had that conversation with a guy I worked with. He grew up in New Orleans. Like, he was a banger before he got into the Marine Corps. And he's learned to not act like he did. And he was even talking to us about, like, yeah, when I go home, like, all my friends and my family look at me like, man, you whitewash. You talking like a white boy now. And it's like, you mean I'm speaking like an educated individual? Like, I'm sorry that you have a problem with that.
Stupid, you know.
Yeah, the stupid, ignorant behaviors. It is disgusting, which is same thing happens in rural white communities, which me and you know about. We've been there where it's like, if you just speak in an articulate manner, people are like, oh, you fucking snob. You think you're better than us?
Yeah.
We just because we ride around on four-wheelers.
Yeah,
it's like
those idiots. But anyway, getting back to Bernie Sanders.
I don't even want to talk about the last one because
she's very. She could.
You mean
maybe,
Pocahontas?
I would say Sanders in likelihood of winning. It goes Sanders is first, followed by Kamala Harris, followed by Elizabeth Warren.
I don't think Elizabeth Warren will, simply because of
the Native American thing.
The Native American.
I think it'll completely destroy her.
It will. If she, I can't believe that she even announced to run.
Me too.
After that. And even all the great big indigenous peoples have actively spoken out against her. The fact that she's admitted, yes, I did put on my application to be a professor at Yale or whatever the fuck. Oh, yeah. I put in my application that I was a Native American, and that was false. It's you're admitting that your entire career is based off of a lie. But you're still gonna keep going? It's insane.
Well, I mean, she is 1,020 or
1,024th
Native American.
She actually proved that she is more white
than the average. Because the average person is one 500 or something like that, and she's actually more white than the average person even is.
Yes, it's excuse me.
But she has high cheekbones though.
Yeah.
But that is what gets me is that's the very first thing that everyone thinks of now. And
you think Elizabeth Warren, you think Pocahontas.
And Reddit politics was discussing this, and it's like, oh man, it's bullshit. This is it's like, oh, who cares that she was saying that,
that she's a fucking liar?
It's
that's a very big integrity violation.
It's buddy. For years she was using this to get into colleges, to get
professorships,
to get a lead in maybe
I'm not like these other white people. We them other white people.
Oh yeah, Elizabeth Warren gang shit. But no, you're using this to one up people, to get edges on other people, and it's a massive integrity issue to say that, oh well, it was I didn't know. I truly thought I was Native American. It's like, I cannot imagine when you look, and I know it's going to sound like, oh, what, because you can just tell by the way someone looks, but let's be real. Most of the time when someone's like, yeah, I have a decent part of me is Native American, a decent
Nathan
part.
Phillip. He looks very Native American. To
look at Elizabeth Warren and think to yourself, oh, I truly thought I was, what part of you made you think that then?
If you got hit in the head and you got a coma and you woke up and look in the mirror, you would not be like,
wow,
I'm
man.
Indian.
I'm
a Native American. I'm sorry.
I think I'm black, actually. And again, I know a lot of people will be like, that's not a great argument,
see,
and I know it's not a great argument.
Identity politics. It's crazy. Because remember, a trans woman with a penis, that's a biologically female penis. Or also, in identity news, 2 white people who claim to be black said they're going to have a black baby.
Good. I like it.
I don't know what kind of cuck story is going on there, but...
There was I don't know how real of a post it was on Facebook. It was these 2 white people have a kid, and when the wife delivers it, it's like the baby's like half black or whatever, and so the wife blames the husband.
Yeah.
It was like
you cheated on me.
it was an Uno card with a reverse on
Reverse,
it. Yeah.
reverse. Everybody, clap your hands.
All right, so that's for the Democrats that are running. I think in terms of, so I won't break this into two different categories.
I have to break the news to all of our 6 regular viewers.
Mm-hmm.
We're conservatives.
No, I'm not. You are, not me.
Actually, I think you're more conservative than I am on a lot of things.
Well, on a lot of things, but overall, you're far more
I
conservative.
think I am more hard-headed, but I think you're still more conservative than I am.
That is. But I would say let's break it into two different categories. One, what we think is most likely to win
Cory
versus
Booker.
our favorite.
I think Cory Booker has the best chance of winning because Bernie Sanders is going to get drugged down through that association with AOC. He's either going to have to denounce her, even if she doesn't advocate for him, people are still going to make that association, and he's going to have to like cut that fucking rope one way or another.
So your favorite is obviously Cory, but you think the best, like you think the highest likelihood of winning is also
Cory Booker. As far as my favorite, I'm still undecided. I have not done enough of a fact check on any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think from what I know of them, my favorite would be Tulsi Gabbard.
Okay. Me, as of right now, my favorite is still from the very beginning. This was going back all the way to like 2017 when I first was discussing this with you, and I was saying best chance they have is Cory Booker, but you know obviously who knows. So my favorite is still Cory Booker. But highest likelihood to win, easily Bernie Sanders, easily.
Highest likelihood of winning the Democratic ticket is Bernie Sanders.
Who do you think has? So then, another question for a two-part. Who has? Because you already answered this, but still, who has the best chance of winning the Democratic nomination? But who has the best chance of winning in a national election?
National election, I'm gonna put my money with Cory Booker.
Me too. Absolutely.
Because
absolutely.
he has like the visual association with Barack Obama. He's kind of from the ads that he's put out so far, he's advocating like
Hope.
very close,
Hope.
without the whole like color fucking. Yeah, but everyone's like, oh, we need a black president again, and as much as I hate to say it, because I don't like to be that person, I still don't think America's ready for a woman president. As a whole, I do not think America is ready for a woman president.
Haley 2024.
Maybe then.
That's
5 years from now.
I'm going on record. It is February 2019.
Look into the camera like it's The Office.
February 2019. I'm saying this right now. Best bet. Greatest chance, Nikki Haley for 2024.
We're going to write a letter to our congressional representatives.
I think she
and let them know
has
how we feel.
The best chance. So whether or not Trump wins and he cannot run
a woman,
again.
A minority, a conservative, pro-Israel, pro-gun.
She hits almost every category you can think of, and it's all wrapped up in this very good-looking, very professional woman. She's
got
almost
Ben Shapiro's
the
vote
best
already.
Yeah, and with everyone, oh my god, she's amazing. So and again, it doesn't matter.
She's the perfect candidate.
Either Trump loses, and then obviously he's not going to run again in 2024, or if he wins and can't run in 2024, either way, she runs in 2024, and she I think is it's gonna be good.
We can end this. I have an idea for you after we cut the camera. We won't go into that yet on record, but
okay. But that was all the Democrats right now, and I think
not a very succinct. I hate that.
Succinct?
Yes. Okay, I did say it right. Okay. We did not keep this as quick as we thought we would, but
it was quick enough.
We're very prone to rabbit holes.
Absolutely.
And hyperbole.
But yeah, so tar and feathered, everyone.
Camera's not working. I'm sorry.
I'll see you later.